So today is the day before Labor Day, Sunday, and I am in the Sawatch Mountains of Colorado, headed to a place called Ptarmigan Lake, and didn't expect to be shooting a video so soon again, but all of my plans fell through this weekend. I was originally supposed to go do a really big 13,000 foot peak hike with a buddy of mine that we would have been doing today, but unfortunately we had a bunch of shit come up and we had to cancel. So then I tried to take my wife out here yesterday because it's a little bit easier hike. It would have been perfect for her to come out overnight. And this place is about 2.5 hour drive from my house. So me and my wife come out here pretty early yesterday to do what I'm doing now. As soon as we get almost to the trailhead, she realizes that it's that one full time a month's about to hit. She didn't expect it coming for a couple more days. So unfortunately we had to abandon our plans and start heading back home, unfortunately, because there wouldn't be anything worse than her being up here overnight and then starting to get severe pains. So it just wasn't even worth it. So I was pretty much 0 for 2 this weekend, unfortunately, but you know, I've got tomorrow off. It's a 3-day weekend, so I said, fuck it, I'm just coming out here by myself tomorrow. And I'll take all you guys with me again to film Hiking Metal number 2. So real quick before we get up there, let's talk about some music. First off, King Diamond just announced a new album and US tour, which is killer. I'll definitely be at that Fillmore show in Denver in October. I've seen King Diamond twice, and if he ever comes to town, I'll never miss him. The question is this new record going to be any good? Because honestly, he hasn't really done anything in a long time that I've really been majorly impressed with. I mean, Give Me Your Soul Please was pretty good. There were some good songs on that. But you know, before that, most of the albums for a while were just forgettable. I mean, you know, as far as his early stuff, you know, those first 5, Fatal Portrait, Abigail, Them, Conspiracy, and The Eye, you know, you just can't take that away from him whatsoever, man. This is some of the best stuff. After that, I kind of lost touch. There was a couple good records in there, but for the most part, he hadn't really done anything good for a while. So, really kind of curious to see what this new record's going to be like. Hopefully good, but he'll always be a legend no matter what. So the other one is Tool just released their new record. New record in over 16 years or something like that. And yeah, I know, most metalheads are like, fuck Tool, whatever. You know, they suck, or they're too mainstream. But I don't care about all that shit, man. I like Tool. Always have. And honestly, the last couple records really weren't all that great. I kind of lost touch with them at that point. I mean, both those records have some good songs, but anyway, one of the things that I always dig about Tool is, you know, the attention to detail that they put into their packaging. You know, their CD releases are always really cool. So, you know, I went to the store on Friday and I bought a copy. You know, the new one, even though I hadn't really heard anything yet. But it's a really cool packaging. The artwork is awesome, and there's a little LED screen with a rechargeable USB where you can watch all the visuals. I just thought that was really neat. So, upon listening to the record, I listened to it about 3 or 4 times. And, you know, right off the bat, there's a couple of really good songs. And, you know, as you would expect, the production is fucking perfect. The level of playing, you know, the drumming, all the musicianship is top notch, as you really expect. Maynard sounds as good as he always does. But, man, that fucking album just drags on and drags on forever. And just, you know, they're not really doing anything different. A lot of stuff just sounds the same as what they've done before, and some of the songs just don't go anywhere. They just linger on and on, and you know, some of the same could be said for a couple of the last records, but, you know, unfortunately, they just, in my opinion, just don't have it anymore. They don't have that magic that they had in those early records, you know? Boy, they can play the hell out of their instruments and they've got their concept figured out, but the songs are just not really well written. It's just go on and on, just lingering and lingering, and then they finished, and honestly, you just kind of lose interest halfway through the songs. So it's a bummer, but you know, these are the things that happen to most bands, all the great bands, all these great bands that we love that have put out masterpieces or perfect albums. You know, they're just human, and at some point, the well runs dry, and they don't have it in them anymore. I mean, think about it: Metallica, Slayer, Megadeth, as I just said, Tool, King Diamond, Opeth, Agalloch. You go on and on, you know, with bands that have just released masterpieces and then went on to just do mediocre work. Opeth, you know, you can't deny those early Opeth records, some of the greatest progressive death metal records ever recorded. And, you know, what they've become, unfortunately, I'm the type of fan that, you know, I don't like their new sound, but I still buy their new record when it comes out, just in the hope that maybe it'll change my mind. And it hasn't yet. Heritage, I largely disliked, as well as Pale Communion. I think both of those albums had a couple good songs, but for the most part, I just don't like that evil circus clown sound with the keyboards, man. It's like they lost the guitars. They fucking drenched in shitty 70s prog keyboards. It just fucking aggravates the shit out of me. But there's still a couple good songs on those records. I thought Sorceress was pretty good. I thought Sorceress was definitely a step up from those last two. But still, it's Nechochwen, as I like to call them. But I just pre-ordered this new one that's about to come out, Enchanting. And yep, my hopes aren't very high. You know, I've heard the two singles they've released so far, and they don't sound all that great. I mean, one of them is pretty good. The other one's just kind of more of the same shit that they've been doing. But I don't think it's because they're not doing death metal anymore that just swallowed a bug. Flew right into my mouth. Anyway, I don't think that, you know, just because they stopped doing death metal, they're no longer any good. I just think that they just lost that magic that they had when they were a death metal band. And the easiest argument I have there is Damnation. It's a brilliant record and had no death metal whatsoever on it. And they just 70s prog shit that, in my opinion, really, it's not, you know, in my opinion, it's just not exceptional. But, you know, they gave us so many masterpieces in their time. Alright, well, I made it to Wake, and I'll probably have to go back down a little further to find a good campsite so I can get a fire going. Not really too much firewood up here. Alright, you guys, well, I have found a place to stay for the night, and it's a pretty cool spot. I would have liked to have stayed up at the high lake up there, but the only problem with that is you just can't have a fire because it's above tree line. Well, I mean, you could, but there's absolutely no firewood, no combustibles whatsoever up there. And I'll kind of show you the campsite. Spot right back there. I can put my tent. And fire pit right here. You know, it's kind of slim pickings around here too as far as fire goes. I'm really kind of kicking myself for, I always forget that I need to have some kind of collapsible saw so I can cut wood when I'm in these type of places, because it's always this case where there's just not a whole lot of firewood just sitting on the ground. at least high up in these alpine areas. But this will be my tent right here. And I'll make do. I think there's enough. Maybe at least have a fire tonight. Definitely an ideal spot. I mean, a little ways away from the trail. And here, but I've got water right there. That makes things easy. Got my rope hung up in the tree there for all my food, a bear bag. It's Nechochwen, Odo. It's definitely one of my favorite bands. Very ideal for this type of site. I'll show you real quick. Tent. Yeah, Nechochwen. What can you say about those guys? I think they're probably my favorite band on Binary. Remember when I first heard about them, I thought it sounded like there's no way that could be good. You know, black metal with Native American influence. But boy, does he make it work. Pretty much everything he's released is just fantastic. But this one is probably my favorite one, Otto. First half of it's just like all folk acoustic. Well, not folk, but, you know, that acoustic, classical acoustic with that Native American sort of influence on it. And then second half it gets a little heavier. There's some heavier songs. Surprised these guys don't get more exposure. Not too many people seem to know about them. They're such a great band. So it goes sometimes. I just love how this guy just melds the Native American spirit and feel to the way he plays the classical guitar. You can tell he's classically trained, I would think. And just using different kinds of instruments that fit in with the whole Native American theme. Using the wood flute and different like wood blocks and stuff like that. Pretty amazing stuff. Cheers. Life can't get much better than this, can it? Out in the woods with some Nechochwen, some whiskey. Anyway, I'm going to sit here and listen to me some more of this fantastic album and try and prepare a few things, get some wood ready, food, and water collected, and the witching hour approaches. Morning. So I'm about to pack up and head out of here, but I'm going to take a second just to show you guys all the stuff that I like to bring with me on an overnight like this. This is my Gregory Savant 58 pack, and I've had this for probably 6 years. And it still works great. The Gregory packs are a little heavier than some of the other models, but I think that they make the best. I just love all the features that they have on them. And I got my 3-liter hydration, water, trekking poles. I got my camera, all my clothes. So I got buffs. This is like headwear for hiking. My gloves, hat, long sleeve shirt, and sort of thin layer for my legs if it gets cold. Alright, so over here I've got my portable solar charger, first aid kit, 2 pillows, the Cedar Summit, pack up quite nicely, really nice and light. This is my jet boil stove. Got my puffy jacket here. This is a toiletry kit. It's got toilet paper, shovel, sanitizer, you know, because you got to shit in the woods, unfortunately. Pop a squat. Dig a hole, pop a squat, man. Here I've got my tent. It's the poles for the tent, and it's just an MSR hubba. 1 person, nice and light, just like 2 or 3 pounds. Here I've got my water filtration and a Sawyer filter, and just some various attachments for all my hoses. I've had that sucker for quite a long time. That still works great. Alright, sunglasses, earbuds, a little collapsible mug for coffee in the morning, iPod and speaker, little USB, Bluetooth charged, and I got a lamp, headlamp, lamp for the tent, headlamp for outside, GPS. Alright, so I've got rope here to hang the bear bag, extra container for a little bit of whiskey, sunscreen, trash bag. That's this bag right here. It's just miscellaneous stuff. Toothpaste, toothbrush, Noons, which are kind of like Gatorade, bug spray, 5-hour energy, spoon, extra batteries, lighter, earplugs, coffee, flint. This is my bed pad, the Thermarest. It's kind of bulky, but it's nice and big because I'm a side sleeper. And over here, we've got my rain jacket. And this is my sleeping bag. This is a Mountain Hardware Phantom 15 degree. Compresses nice and tight there. Hiking shoes. I like to wear sandals at camp. I try to go as light as I can. There's a lot of stuff in here I don't end up using, but it's nice to have in an emergency. And I do like to carry a knife as well, just a buck knife. Just for protection. You never know, you might need something. I don't carry firearms or anything like that when I hike, but at least I have something to protect myself. That's pretty much it, you guys. Well, I'm going to get packed up here and get headed out. Cheers.